us all?
As you ordered. 300. All with born sons to carry on their name.
We are with you, sire! For Sparta! For freedom! To the death! He is your son. He is too young to have felt a woman's warmth.
I have others to replace him. Astenos is as brave and ready as any. No younger than we were the first time you stood next to me in battle.
You are a good friend. But a better captain, there is none.
My good king, the oracle has spoken.
The Ethos have spoken. There must be no march.
'Tis the law, my lord. The Spartan army must not go to war.
Nor shall it. I've issued no such orders. I'm here just taking a stroll, stretching my legs. These 300 men are my personal bodyguard. Our army will stay in Sparta.
Where will you go?
I hadn't really thought about it, but now that you ask, I suppose I'll head north.
Not gate.
What should we do?
What can we do?
What can you do? Sparta will need sons.
Spartan!
Yes, my lady.
Come back with your shield. Or on it.
Yes, my lady.
Goodbye, my love. He doesn't say it. There's no room for softness. Not in Sparta. No place for weakness. Only the hard and strong may call themselves Spartans. Only the hard. Only the strong.
What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back with another film review, and this time we are moving on to a classic. This film just, what isn't there to say? Zack Snyder's 300. So this film, I remember seeing trailers when I went to the theaters when we were seeing movies back in the day. And what really drew me to watch this film, I kid you not, was when I heard Nine Inch Nails. Just like it was just like you imagined, because The Fragile is one of the greatest. It's one of Nine Inch Nails, Trent's best albums besides Downward Spiral. But when I heard that, that just drew me. Every time I would see that trailer, I just get more and more and more drawn into. I'm going to see this film in theaters. Didn't know anything about the comic. I knew there was a comic. I never read it. And I didn't care. I just knew the way the motions that were going through, they were showing some of the scenes and stuff. I was like, I am going to see this film in theaters. And I did. And man, loved it. The rating for the film is a 10 out of 10. Yes, sir. This film is a classic. It's just, Zack Snyder did just, this is one of his rare ones, rare gems. This film was fucking just so good. Because it was straightforward. It was the few who stood against many and made a king bleed. Or even I think he said even a king can bleed. But the point was, this guy, Gerard Butler's character, was like, the Persians are going through and wiping out all these different nations and taking them over, and we're not going to lie down. We're not going to take it. Now, people can say, well, this is all fiction. It's not true. It's like, yes. Is this a work of fiction? Yes. Is it true, historically true and accurate? Absolutely not. And then the people say, whoa, it's racist because it's making this comic about Persians. It's a fucking movie, okay? Take all that shit out and just watch it for the fact that it's just a movie about action, and just the main focus to say that the few who stood against many. That's it. A few guys stood against an army, and they knew that more likely they weren't going to make it out alive, but they were going to take as many of them, of their enemy, down as they could. And that's what makes the film great. It's not the villain or the heroes or the Spartans in it. It's not that. It's the main premise that makes the film so great. And then the action scenes, the way the fighting is done, is just, that was great. I love that. But that's all that it is. It's not like it's trying to push a message, really, or trying to downgrade the Persian Empire, or say that Greeks are better than Persians, because some people really try to bring this racial shit into this movie, and it was just like, dude, that's not what this is about. It's a popcorn flick. It's entertainment. Stop trying to put fucking politics in every little damn thing, or say there's an underlying theme. Most films have an underlying theme, but do you need to look for every underlying theme every time you watch something? Because then if that's the case, then don't watch movies. Read a fucking book. Just read books then. But everybody has some type of opinion or underlying theme when they do a movie, or if they write a novel. That's just the way we are. But don't, if you gotta nitpick every little fucking thing else. There was one thing that irked me about the criticism of this film. It was that part. Not criticism well, the action could have been better, or this could have been better. It was like, I don't like the fact because they're making it seem like this is what Persians look like. No, and it's not historically accurate. there's some elements of this that's accurate, but the majority of it, it's fantasy. It's not true. It's just entertainment. It's a, take it for what it is and have fun. Turn off your brain and be entertained. And 300 was that type of film. There wasn't anything I didn't like about it. I enjoyed myself from the beginning to the end. And then, what's her name? Lena Headey. The one thing I can say about, I think she's one of the best actresses that have come out in the last 20 years. I wholeheartedly mean that. When I saw Lena in this film, I had a strong sense that this is the next woman that can carry the female, not only female superhero, but strong female lead in action films. I hadn't seen a presence like that since Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton. And that's not a disrespect to Fast and Furious, but Michelle Rodriguez is cool, but Lena Headey, she just I don't think she demanded, but she just gave that presence. She could pick up a gun in whatever type of film and it'd be believable. And she's and then not to top it off, she's gorgeous. That woman is so damn fine, but she is a badass. My only disappointment with her as an actress, and it's not her, it's just I didn't like the fact that, I know they did it, her being in Game of Thrones, because I didn't like her as a villain. I liked her as a villain, but I didn't like the character. I liked her and the job she did with the character because I despise the character. But I would really like to see her be utilized as a heroine. Because she could do it, just the scene she did in here, which is, she could pull it off. If they just put her in the right type of film, and she's not a villain, she's a hero, she can get people to pay attention. And I noticed that about her. That was one of the huge, outside of everything else, that was a strong, she really kept my attention. Not just because she was gorgeous, but every time she had a scene, I was waiting to see what she was going to do. I knew Gerard Butler and everybody else was going to kick ass, but I was really waiting to see what she was going to do, because she just had one thing I liked about Zack Snyder is when he does films with both female and male, he doesn't degrade either side. He makes both sides equal, and he makes both sides important. It's never only the man can do this or only the woman can do that. He values both sexes when he makes films, and I really appreciate that about him. And he thoroughly does good character development with both sexes, because some films will be made and the male characters are shit, or vice versa. The females are just not very well written, and he makes sure when he does films with females in it, that is his intention, to make sure that he has films that the females are strong, well written characters, just like the men. And Lena was badass, and I that's one of the highlights for me about this film was her, definitely, because I liked how she carried herself. I liked how she carried herself as a mother and as a queen, and how she carried herself with her people. It was just tremendously well written. And then having, what's his name in here too? Michael Fassbender. He ends up playing Magneto in the X-Men First Class films and stuff. So it was cool to see him, and he was in this the Band of Brothers too. But the point is, he stuck out, and because he was younger when I saw this film. then you put two and two together now, like later down the road. So, if you've never seen it, you need to watch this film. You really need to watch this film. Definitely need to watch this film. You need to make it a priority. If you've never seen this film, make it a priority to watch this film. Definitely. You may not give it a 10 like me, but you're going to enjoy it for sure. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.